be doing the Achilles slowly getting more followers by the day. Thank you for joining me if you're watching this, and thank you for following me. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and follow, or new to the podcast that will be put on at a later date for audio purposes. Go ahead and subscribe or whatever the uh, Apple or whatever it does. So, again, we are live. So if you do show up, go ahead and hit yourself in the chat, and I'll be able to point you out and give you a shout out. So thank you for that. Pardon. And again, this show is going to be about hypnosis. Again, it's Achilles Hypnosis. My business is Achilles Hypnosis, if I haven't mentioned that already. And what this podcast is about is to have people understand what hypnosis is, and for the veterans and more experienced of those in hypnosis, find other resources to help them. For example, Chinese face reading, Reiki, and stuff like that. I will also be able to put books here that would be good for the practitioner as well as those who are trying to understand hypnosis or looking into hypnosis, because at one point all of us were trying to find out what hypnosis was, or at least try to denounce it in some sort because we were so skeptical. And I was kind of one of those people who was very skeptical, one because of my religion, my faith, pardon me, because of my faith, and I didn't know what my belief was upon hypnosis, because I thought it was good for a sense, and I thought it also was evil. So you have to take that into consideration for your religious purposes. And a lot of other things. I want to be there for you so that you can understand what hypnosis is, how it helps you, and how I personally can help you understand it and perhaps learn more stuff about hypnosis and different types of hypnosis throughout the centuries. Enough about that. But along with that, this is going to be for, again, the veterans, for resources like books. For example, I really like this book, and I'll do a later thing about it. And I believe it's backwards onto you, but it's Face Reading in Chinese Medicine by Lillian Bridges. And other books as well, other classes, other resources like Mike Mendel. He's a great teacher, and I've taken his graphology course, and I'll do a review of that in a later date. But today, more or less, I wanted to give you a little shout out of who I am, what my story is, and then I'd get into the small little review I have about Jason Linett's Work Smart business book, which I really love as well. Again, my name is Taylor Lancaster. I'm a certified consulting hypnotist, certified by the NGH, National Guild of Hypnotists. And my journey started mostly with hypnosis. It started when I was about 8 years old. My grandpa died, and I really didn't understand what was going on, and I kind of held that in for myself, because in hypnosis we teach a lot of our issues come from our childhood, and I was holding on to that for a lot of things, and a lot of different issues came awry. One of which was depression. And I became depressed around the ages of 18 and 20, in which I'm a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and with my faith, I decided to go on a 2-year full-time proselyting mission. I was paying to be out there, and everything. I was teaching people about Jesus Christ and a lot of other things. But I didn't feel as though I had much success. And again, you have to range success differently. I range success with numbers of baptisms, numbers of lessons, things like that. And thus I had quite a long time, quite a bad journey in the beginning, and I kept putting myself down because I was such a negative person with these things. And I became very depressed, and I finally had to go to a psychologist, get some counseling, and I had most of it fixed. But the one thing that mostly helped me change was what he called meditations, or I don't remember exactly the word he called it, but they pretty much were meditations in hypnosis where a woman told you to visualize that someone sitting across from you, most loved one. And this was actually what helped me. It changed my perspective, and I felt a lot more refreshed. And from that point on, I figured I can do anything. And I continued to do this and do this, and then finally it got a little. I got depressed again. I wasn't doing the meditations, and then I found through a different venue hypnosis because I was searching for it on YouTube of all places. Looky here, YouTube, and I started looking up inductions and stuff like that if it was mind control, and then I went to my church's handbook and found that it was okay in the medical sense. So I started to use it with myself, and then I started to use it with my wife. And again, this book about I'm going to talk about later, Jason Linett. Jason Linett was one of the influences that pushed me to actually get certified. And I was certified by an NGH. What do you call it? Pardon. Instructor. Martha Wilkes Harrison. She's down in Orem if you want to look her up. It's brighamhypnosis.com. And I just found hypnosis was one of the greatest resources that I had as a human being to help me. Okay. And Jason had an amazing amount of very simple things that showed you how to hypnotize and what you can do. And I finally came across a few tracks for hypnosis that helped me out. And then I came across a few more books that helped me to solidify that I needed to do this as a profession and a hobby as well. Well, as a profession. Hobbies are not anymore. So, but as a hypnotist now, I see and understand a lot more of what's going on in what I used to, well, the problems and issues I used to have, as well as other people's. And most of our problems are very simple, and they root from similar causes. Like I said, most of our issues come from before we were 9 years old. Jason Linett, a lot of other people say 7, but it just depends on the person, and an issue can arise from anything and any time. But again, I'm trying to think about what else I need to talk about here in this session, because I don't want to be too long and I don't want to be too short. But short's better, I know that. Well, I'll just jump right into Jason Linett's book. So, if you can see here on YouTube on the live feed here, you can get it on Amazon. I am not going to give you an affiliate link because that was weird. I'm not going to give you an affiliate link, but that's what his book looks like. It's again backwards because I'm doing the face forward camera. Sorry about that. But I'm not going to give you an affiliate link because you don't really need it. Just go and buy it. Just on Amazon, Work Smart Business, or just look up Jason Linett. And it's a great book. He talks about his journey and how he started in hypnosis. And one of the biggest things that I liked about the book was he talked about how you can, it's not really a hypnosis book, okay? It's a business book. So anyone who is wanting to do business, this is a great book for you because it does have things about mentality and moving forward. But one of the biggest things that I think is very applicable to today is work smart. And he says working hard is included with working smart. Okay, it's not just all his systems that provides it. He has to go out and do stuff about it. He blocks off time about how he for creation of content. Really, that's what he does. He has a ritual time when he goes, and he has a set time where he creates content, and he works really hard, and he thinks, and he has the creative process. But if he didn't set that time, or even think about it, or just half efforted it wouldn't have happened, and he wouldn't be making the money that he does, and he wouldn't be helping the people that he does. Okay, he's hypnotized over 250,000 people. Okay, and he's helped all those people, I'm guessing. Okay, some people may have had issues later on, but that's not really his fault. And so I I do like that bit. I didn't have very many issues with the book. The only issue I really had was it is geared towards being a hypnotist. I thought it was more geared towards hypnosis people and us professionals. It did dumb it down, and he didn't talk a lot about hypnosis. But then again, it was very influential, and I really liked the book. And some of the key pointers there as well on the book. Um, he points out how you go out, and he pretty much, so one of the stories that I really liked in there as well was he wants to go to Six Flags there around the Virginia area, Virginia DC area, and all he has to do is sell one discounted program for about $500. Okay, so that he can provide for him and his wife. So he was going to sell 12 of them. He thought, whatever, so I'm just going to sell one of them, I'll be okay. And he went out and he did a lot of work. He had the system set in place, he advertised it, he marketed it, he emailed it, and he sold all 12 of them. And that goes to show, especially in nowadays, where we think work's supposed to be easy. It's not, okay? Work is work. It's found after success in the only time success is found before work is in the dictionary. And again, another thing, work is hard a lot of the times, okay? Not everything's not going to be handed to you on a silver platter. And I do love the fact that he points that out. That you have to go out and get it. You have to push through the mentality that people are telling you, oh, it's going to take you 5 years to, pardon, it's going to take you 5 years to build a proper hypnosis business. He did it in way less time than that. He didn't say how many months or whatever, but he came back for one of his meetings after someone told him, and he had the biggest booming business out of all